Hello lovely podcast people, Cardiff calling. Welcome to episode 12 of the Owl About Yarn podcast. It's Friday the 18th of September and it's not too bad a day in Cardiff. I can see blue sky when I look out my window. I think the blue sky stops at the top of the window frame though, because I've just dropped my daughter to school and there was quite a lot of cloud above me, so I don't know if it's going to be a lovely sunny day later on or if it's going to suddenly hurl down, but you know, that's the glory of Welsh weather for you. I've had a bit of a cold this week and it's a fair bit better this end of the week than it was the other end, but my voice is still a bit scratchy again. I think I must have been coming down, no, last time I podcast, that was about a week and a half ago, I couldn't have been coming down with it then. But I've got my cup of tea anyway, in my I Love Wales mug, which I've had for years and years and years. So I'll sip that now and again and hopefully I'll make it through everything that I want to talk to you about. I knew though, if I didn't podcast today, it was going to be the middle of next week at the earliest that I got round to it. So I thought I'd better crack on and get in touch with you all and say hello and show you what I've been doing and ask you how your week has been. And hopefully you'll get in touch with me in one of the ways that I've been showing at the bottom of the screen, or am showing. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, it's all new. And tell me what you've been doing and show me some of your crafting if I haven't already seen it, because I see most things for the people that I follow on Instagram. I'm on there really quite regularly. But come over to the Ravelry group. It's a lovely group of people and it is growing now that we've got the knit along going on, which I'll talk to you about. We've had quite a few new members and it's really lovely hearing how their projects are all going. So come and say hi. I'd love to see you. I love the pictures. And the new thread that I mentioned last week, the What Makes You Smile thread, it's been a little bit quiet for a few days and I'm sure that there are things that are making you all smile. So come and show some more things to me and give me a smile to brighten up what I'm not sure looks like it might turn into a bit of a grey day outside. Anyway, today's sections include works in progress, finished objects, stash enhancement, plans and loose ends, which is sort of encompassing everything else. So everything else that's left after we've talked about the knitting, basically. So, start off with my works in progress. I've really only got one proper work in progress at the moment. And it's the same one I showed you last time. Right, next time I have to knit 2 cardigans for my little girl. I don't have to, but you know, next time I want to knit her 2 school cardigans, can somebody please hit me with the mallet of sanity and say, Jen, don't do 2 patterns exactly the same. You know you hate doing the exact same pattern twice. That's why I have problems with socks, you know, second sock syndrome. Don't do it, Jen. Just step back, remember how difficult you found this second cardigan to get through and find 2 separate patterns. It doesn't matter. It'll all be good. This is a lovely pattern. It's a really simple, straightforward pattern, but because I've already knit it once and it was done, I didn't want to knit it again straight away. I'm sure that I'd come back to it another time because, like I say, it was such a lovely pattern and relatively simple. I mean, the lace pattern down the sleeves is easy to remember. It looks lovely on. It's nice shaping. Plenty of stocking stitch, so it's good for TV knitting or car knitting. I just get bored easily. I've got the attention span of a butterfly. It's being a Gemini, you see, that does it. Anyway, last week I put my markery thingy on and that's all I've done. I managed, so I've got the whole body of the sweater, but for the last few rows of ribbing is done now. And I've done, where's the camera? Still haven't got used to this, have I? See, this, it doesn't like this colour. Oh, you can just see there, look. I've got a fair bit of ribbing done. I think I've got about another, probably not more than, I don't know, 6 rows or so, and that'll be done, and then I can do the sleeves, and the sleeves are going to be quick, aren't they, because they're only little bitty things, but oh, I can't wait for that to be done. It's just driving me mad. But she'll have 2 beautiful cardigans then to wear to school, and I put her in her official school cardigan today, the one with the badge that you buy from the school, and she was really disappointed and said, oh, but I wanted to wear the one with the different buttons that you made me. So I've promised her that she can wear that on Monday when she goes back to school, so that made her happy and made me happy as well, because, you know, who doesn't want to be appreciated for what they make? So, as I say, that's my only proper work in progress. I'm knitting it on my 3.5mm carbons from my box of Joy that I got, and they are Knit Pro carbons. They're Knitter's Pride in America, I think, and the pattern is by Sarah Ronchetti. It's a paid pattern and it's available on Ravelry. I will link it in the show notes. The only other, where have I put it? Hang on, bear with. Well, what did I do with it? I was going to show you my nearly work in progress, which is spinning. Hold that thought, I'll be back. Am I back? I have returned! Hurrah! The bag fell off the table on the other side, so that's why I couldn't find it. I'm just about to start a new spin, and it's some lovely John Arbon fibre. I've already made it up. I've divided it. Come on, focus camera. I divided it into these little mini sections so that it'll be easy to spin, and it makes it quicker, and I find it easier to spin it thinner if I do that rather than spinning from the original braid. So I've split it in half, and I've split each half into these little mini bits and pieces, and I'll spin that up. Might even start that this afternoon, and I'm not sure what that'll be for. That might go in the shop. We shall see. It's a lovely fibre though. It's merino. I think it's just merino. I'm not quite sure because I bought it. It's John Arbon fibre. Did I say that already? And I bought it at the either the mill sale or at Wonderwool. I think I bought it at the mill sale because somebody's written on it 100 grams. Yeah, bought it at the mill sale, and it's just I've spun some other of his merino, and it's so smooth and beautifully combed, and the fibres are aligned so beautifully. It's just it's like comfort eating for spinners. It just flows so nicely, and anyway, that's my ode to John Arbon fibre over and done with. So that's my nearly work in progress. By the time this is live, I'll have started that, so that's cool. I've got quite a lot of finished objects though. I've finished 3 spins since I last spoke to you, and 1 knit. So, did I show you this one? I think, did I show it to you on the bobbin? Or I showed you a picture of this on the bobbin? This is my own fibre that I dyed. I dyed it into a rainbow gradient, and I've spun this. I divided it lengthways into, I want to say 5 lengths. So it goes through the rainbow 5 times, basically. And I think last time it might still have been on the bobbin. Did I show it to you on the bobbin? I think. Well, anyway, I've end-plied it, and I've washed it and thwacked it and dried it, and it's all poofy and lovely because it's BFL. And I'm now going to be terribly rude and go on my phone because I can't remember what the yardage was. I didn't prepare so well as I usually do. I'm saying I don't prepare as well as... Did I have notes last time? I think last time was the one I didn't have any notes, wasn't it? So, not so much. Hand spun. And then Owl About Yarn, BFL, Rainbow. 250 yards this ended up being. 250 yards. And I reckon it's probably roughly double knit. So that should make quite a nice scarf, I can imagine. Or maybe a cowl. A little scarf, wouldn't it? It would have to be quite a narrow scarf, I suppose, only 250 yards. You could get a cowl out of it though, couldn't you? Or a hat. Not a massive cowl either. You could definitely get a hat with a really big pom-pom. So this is going to be a present anyway, so this isn't going in the shop. But I do have 2 more braids to spin, which I think are going to go in the shop, and I'm going to try and spin them roughly like this because it's so lovely and squishy and bouncy and oh, just lovely. Right, last time I showed you that I had finished 3 skeins of another John Arbon fibre that I bought. Do you remember the never-ending bag of fibre? And I had finished 3 towards, come on, colour. No, I'm having lighting issues again, I'm afraid. Oh, no, there, good. I'd finished these 3 last time, and they're going to be making a jumper for Erin. Well, I'm going to be making a jumper for Erin out of them, but I'm spinning them for a jumper for Erin. I finished the 4th one, and here it is, plied up, and I'm just waiting now. I'll probably, if the weather holds, because it looks as if it's getting brighter outside rather than duller, I think I'll probably soak them when I finish the podcast and have them all dried and lovely by the end of the day, or near enough, which will be great, and then I'll be able to cast on that jumper quite soon. And my last finished object was one that I hadn't planned on starting, so I hadn't mentioned it to you, but I'll tell you more about Bristol Wool Festival that we went to, Bristol Wool Fair, sorry, that we went to at the weekend later on. But Ben, my younger son, my 11-year-old, got collared by a lovely lady at the Ashford stall who invited him to have a go on a blending board and make some rolags for me. And she said, oh, do you want to come and have a go? Do you want to have a go? And he was like, okay. And she said, you can make something lovely for your mummy to take home. I was like, go, get in there. So he went in and had to go on a blending board. I mean, he had help, obviously, because he's never done this before, but he was doing all the sticking the fibre down, and they were showing him about brushing it and adding more and layering it up. And then the man came and twiddled it off with the wooden sticks. You can tell I've never done this myself, can't you? But he made me these, hang on, there we are, these rolags, faux lags, whatever they're called, I don't know. Are they proper rolags? Off a blending board with 2 wooden sticks that sort of twiddle them off. Well, he made me them, and I will put a picture in here, or here. I'll put a picture in somewhere to show you what it looked like on the spindle, because there was only 30, I weighed it, was 34 grams, so I didn't want to just have it on its own, because I thought, oh, that's not going to really get me anything of anything. So I looked in my stash and I found a lovely tealy blue fibre full of all different coloured sparkles, which I got at PPM Woolcraft at Wonderwool. And it matched it perfectly, because all of these, I mean, they picked every colour under the sun to put into these rolags. But then this fibre that I found has all the colours under the sun in the sparkles, and it all matches really well. So anyway, I spun it up, and here it is. Oh, see, I'll put some pictures at the end, but you see all the colours there, and then they blend together with the tealy blue, which is coming out too dark, and it's really nice. And I think I got about 300 and something yards altogether, because I spun it really thinly. I wanted to see how thinly I could spin this. And then you can just see the sparkles shimmering as I hold. So I have no idea what I'm doing with this. I think it might be something decorative, but I'll keep you posted. But I've got to keep it because my Ben made the rolags for me, or at least he helped. But you know, I like to say he made them. So it's his first fibery thing that he's made me. So I've got to keep the yarn. But it might just be a little bit too scratchy. I'm a bit fussy about what I can wear on me. I don't do well with anything that's even a teeny tiny bit itchy. It has to be a smooth fibre. So this one that I've done for Erin, the merino, that's lovely. I could wear that. And the BFL, that's a smooth fibre as well. But because I think it's the sparkles, I just don't get on with it. I must be a sensitive flower. So they are my finished spinner? They're my finished spins. I'm sorry, this cold must have really taken it out of me. I'm losing my vocabulary and I'm gabbling. I have one finished knit to show you, and it's my key shawlette. So on, if you follow me on Instagram, or if you've been in the Ravelry threads, you'll already have seen pictures of this. But, oh, do you know, I'll get it the right way around in a minute. Here it is. Oh, and I'm dropping it. Here we are. I'm really, really pleased with how that's come out. I don't think it's pooly. If you watch the Bakery Bears, you'll know that Kay has a problem with pooly yarn. I don't think that's too pooly for a variegated. There are patches of... I don't think that's too bad. I think that that's okay. So if I put it on so you can see what it looks like on, I think I shall keep it on then, because I can. So let me just stand up and I can show you. There we are. There's the sail shape at the front. And the knit along is still running. It'll go until the end of October. And it is, the pattern is called the Key Shawlette. It's by Sarah Millis, who is Sarah, the eponymous Sarah of Sarah's Texture Crafts. And it's a nice pattern. It's do you know those patterns where you think, oh, I'll just knit another row. Oh, well, let me just see how this bit works out. Oh, I'll just do a couple more rows because I want to see how that's going to go. It's one of those sorts of patterns. So it's quite a quick knit. And quite a few people in the group seem to be either finishing it or they're coming very close to the end already. So even people who aren't particularly quick knitters, I've noticed. So it's a nice little pattern. And you could... So I ended up using about 76 grams of yarn, but I did start the decreases. I was a bit nervous and I started the decreases a little bit sooner than I should. This stocking stitch panel should have been a little bit longer, but I decided to hedge my bets and do the decreases sooner just in case I ran out of yarn. But I could have carried on, so when I do the next one I'll do that. I'll do the full length stocking stitch panel. And one of my friends, Zoe, hi Zoe, are you ironing? Are you lying in bed and am I reading you to sleep? Or what else do you do when you're watching me? Anyway, Zoe's made it longer because she's quite tall, and so she wanted a shawl that was a little bit longer. And so she made the stocking stitch panel just a little bit longer, so that this V here would be deeper. And that seems to be working as well. She's got plenty of yarn, so that's cool. And if you go on my Ravelry group, there's a 10% off voucher for the pattern and a 10% off voucher for any wool from my shop if you should choose to knit it out of that. And they will both be there until the end of the knit along at the end of October. So run, go and get it, go on, go, if you haven't already. And hi to everybody who already has, thank you very much. They are all of my finished items, so I haven't got a lot of stash enhancement, but I do have a little bit to tell you about. So I went to Bristol Wool Fair, and it was really, really nice. I was really quite surprised, which that sounds awful, doesn't it? But it's only the second year it's been there, and it felt as if it was quite well organised. Who else went? Did any of you go to it? And what do you think about it? But I felt like they did quite a good job, you know. And I noticed on Ravelry a couple of people, because we went on the Saturday and it was open the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And on the Friday night I went to have a look and see what people had been saying about it, in case there were any hints and tips about, oh, make sure to wear wellies or, you know, I don't know, whatever. And I noticed that a few people had put comments about, oh, please can you put signposting from the car park because we weren't quite sure which way to go, or please can you do this, that and the other next year. And they were like, oh, right, we're on it, we'll do it now, it'll be done in the morning. So it was really good that the organisers were so on top of the suggestions that people were making, which I thought was really positive, that they were trying really hard and doing their best to make everybody have a really good time. And and it was really nice. There were these 3 cattle barns which all had stalls in, and then outside they had some food trucks, and there was also a Viking camp, and they did reenactments of battles. They had sheepdogs who were herding ducks around a little course, and a falconry. They had owls and hawks and things like that, which you could go and look at. And I think they did falconry displays, but we didn't stay long enough for that. I think that was going on just after we left. So I took the whole family with me. They've never been to a wool festival before, but I thought they should really experience it. So I said, come on, right, we're going. It'll be good. But they enjoyed it because they didn't enjoy going around the stalls quite so much, because none of them really are knitters or anything like that, you know. But they enjoyed all the extra things that the Bristol Wool Fair people have put on. So that was a really good idea from their point of view. You know, they enjoyed being able to go around the Viking village, and they enjoyed the sheep's milk ice cream that was being sold. They really liked seeing the animals. Erin especially loved the alpacas. She wanted to get in and cuddle them, so we had to sort of pull her away. And they had valet black-nosed sheep, which she thought were wonderful as well. So that was really cute. She really enjoyed looking at the animals. And she did help me pick out some fibre. So we went to visit Sarah on her stall, and I took my shawl. Right, I'm just going to do the crinkling really fast and get it out of the way, okay? It's gone. We went to visit Sarah on her stall, and Erin helped me pick some fibre. So I have merino tussar silk blend. I don't know if you remember, I had a purple one called boysenberry of this blend, and it was just beautiful to spin. I probably should have bought 2, but there we go. I got 1, so I'll have to think what I want to do with this and then spin it up. But oh, imagine if I'd had this and the boysenberry one and plied them together to make my Hitafude. That would have been quite nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, Sarah's Texture Crafts. What? Oh, the camera is not over there, the camera is there. I really will remember one of these weeks. Oh, somebody at the door. I'll be back now. Back, it was the postman. Sorry about the interruption. Hopefully you didn't notice any interruption in the broadcast. So, as I was saying, Sarah's Texture Crafts, which is sarahstexturecrafts.com if you wanted to go and buy some. And it's merino tussar silk blend, 100 grams, exclusive heathered raspberry coulis. Now, I'm not sure, does that mean it was exclusive to the Bristol Wool Fair? Oh, it's so nice. Oh, yes. So, that was the first one. And then, oh, I'm losing my shawl. I bought these to ply together. This one is Exmoor Blueface in the raspberry chocolate colourway. I was on a bit of a pink day, I think. And then this is Blueface Leicester, and that's where's the light? That's raspberry. So yeah, I plan on plying them. So together I think that's 150 grams, so I should get a nice amount out of that and be able to make myself, I don't know, a hat and a neck warmer, or a hat and a pair of mittens. Let's see. Yeah, so I was really pleased with those. And then the only other thing I bought, I was really super restrained, was a little packet of mini skeins, because I find it very hard to bypass packets of mini skeins when I see them. And this was from Rosie's Moments, who I'd not heard of before, but she'd got a nice selection of mini skeins, so I went and treated myself. And there's 5 there, and It doesn't say what they're made out of, it just says superwash wool. So, but I think I recognise those. I think that's probably Blueface Leicester. I'll let you know what I think when I've started knitting them into my blanket. And that's all I got. I was really, really good. Of course, it helps when your husband's standing right behind you, so you don't feel like you can just throw money at people and say, give me all the fibre, because he's sort of counting how much you're spending. He's the voice of reason on my shoulder. But, yeah, I was really, really good, though. I stayed away from the Five Moons stall, because they always have lots and lots of lovely mini skeins, and I haven't knitted up the ones I got at Wonderwool yet. And they were right by the entrance, so I walked in and I saw all these mini skeins. I was like, oh, no, no, be good, behave yourself, and be good. And besides which, hang on, I haven't gone anywhere, I'm still here. Besides which, do you know I had that dyeing day last week? Well, I've moved my blanket now. I'm going to be putting some love into this starting the end of this month. I've moved my blanket into this bag, which really is quite big, and it's almost full to the brim with my mini skeins that I've dyed up. So I really am wound up into balls. Look how good I am. I really don't have any excuse to buy more mini skeins right now. I've got enough to keep me busy for a little while. Oh, need to put the blanket back in there. Yeah, so once this blinking cardigan is finished, maybe I will let myself knit on my blanket a little bit, or maybe I'll knit my other key shawlette, because in my yarn bowl over there I've already wound up the fibre for it. Do you want to see it? Be back. I will have shown this to you when I spun it. It's fondant fibre poonies that I bought, but I've caked it up and I love, look at the stripes and the sparkles. Oh. I think this is going to be a present for somebody though. I'm not quite sure who, but it might go in my Christmas present box. I think when I knit it up I'll see it all come together and I'll think, oh yeah, that'll be such and such's. Oh, I think I've just had an idea who I could give it to and who'd really like it. Good, lovely. Moving on, plans. Well, I haven't got any plans to go anywhere as yet. At the moment, I'm trying to get into some sort of a routine. Now that Erin's in school, she's in school just in the mornings, just 9 till 11:30. So it's not a whole lot of time, but it does give me a little bit of time without somebody about that big keeping on, going, mummy, 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 and you know, you can't fully have your attention on anything, can you? So I'm getting a little bit of time. I've got quite a lot done in the mornings this week actually, because I've done all my product photography and Etsy listings. I had it wasn't a big shop update, but I listed yarn and fibre and some sets of mini skeins this week as well. So yeah, I did all right. I just need to, I feel like I need a routine, almost like a school timetable, so that I say which day of the week I do different things and try and stick to that. So for instance, I'd pick a day for podcasting and that would be firm then in my timetable. You know, every Friday I sit down and I do that, or every other Friday, whichever works best. What do you think, as podcast watchers, what do you think about regular podcasting times as opposed to not regular podcasting times? Because I know that there are some people, Fluffy K, Laura on the Corner of Knit and Tea, she I think records on Sundays and releases it on a Monday, and that's the same as Wolf Farms, Dawn and James, they record on a Sunday and release it on a Monday. I think Denise from the Knitting Den used to do it on a Wednesday morning. And then Dan and Kay from the Bakery Bears, I don't think they record the same time. I think they record fortnightly, but they always say in the one episode when the next one's coming out, and they publicise that. So I think what I'm trying to find out is, does it matter to people that podcasts come out regularly at a set time, a predictable time, or now that you've got YouTube notifications if you subscribe that say such and such has just released a new podcast, does it really matter that it might not be on the same day every week? Let me know what you think about that anyway, because I'd be interested to hear people's feedback. Because for me, if I feel like going and watching podcasts, I just go and see who's uploaded what on YouTube since the last time I logged in, and because it tells me what I haven't watched yet, I can just pick one of those that I haven't watched and go for it. So I don't sort of sit and think, oh, well, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't sit there and think, oh, it's Monday, Wolf Farm's new podcast will be up, I'll go and watch that. You know, I don't watch soaps or things like that. There's not much regular TV that I sort of have a schedule to go and sit down and watch. So maybe it's just my thinking in that way. You know, maybe if I had a TV schedule, I'd think more along those lines with the podcast schedule as well. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think. So anyway, moving on. I really need to fit exercise into my timetable. I'm finding that quite difficult because I'm trying to build up the yarn business and work towards that. It's a bit of a conflict, isn't it? So I really want to be working on that, but I really need to take out half an hour of my day a few times a week to do some exercise and keep myself fit and healthy so that I'm able to do this work. And especially when it gets round to times to prepare for fibre festivals and things like that, it's going to be hard work for a few weeks, isn't it? So I need to be fit and healthy so that I can keep up with that and not just wear myself out and get ill. So yeah, I really need to make that a priority. It's just, I haven't found any exercise that I enjoy. Ever, really. Apart from cycling, I enjoy cycling, but this problem with my hands stopped me doing that a few years ago. So I need to see if there's a way around that. But then, you see, I just need to tie myself down to a time and say, right, go on, you're going to go and do that now. Just get out and do it. So, yeah. There we go. So if you feel like prodding me on Instagram, Twitter, Ravelry, YouTube comments, Google+, really anywhere, just come and say, get out! Go and exercise! Go on! Go and walk for an hour or something. I need to be nagged a little bit, I think, just to get me going. It would be ideal if there was somebody who'd actually come and knock on my door and say, come on, Jen, we're going out now. Get out. But there isn't anybody to do that for me, I don't think, at the moment. So, yeah, I'm going to have to be self-motivated, but that hasn't had the best track record. My eating's better, though. I have been working on that the last few weeks. I did a healthy eating challenge week thing with Denise from the Knitting Den. She's got some Facebook groups going on for healthy eating and exercise. And I did a little bit of exercise that week, but not as much as I should have done. But the eating did go well. So it was all about cooking from scratch and using basic ingredients rather than processed foods. And for me, it's about not snacking, because I just snack quite a lot. My meals are all right. So since then, that week went quite well. Since then, I've been trying not to snack too much. In fact, I've been trying not to snack at all, with varying levels of success. It's been going all right in the day. Sometime in the evenings, I'll sit down and have something with my husband, whether that's a bit of cake or a bit of ice cream after the kids have gone to bed or something. But it's definitely been going better in the days. So now I just need to add the exercise in, and I'm on track to get fitter and healthier and maybe hopefully slightly thinner, and we'll work on that. It's a work in progress, definitely. I should add that to the list, shouldn't I? And then finally we're into loose ends, and I can't see a time. Oh, I haven't got a time, have I? Because I had to stop it. It was the postman. I've already mentioned the Quiche Orlet cowl, so please come on over to the Ravelry group and join in if you'd like to have one of these beautiful shawls all for your very own. And come and find the discount codes. You've still got a month and a half, so you've got plenty of time to knit 1, 2, maybe 3, depending on how devoted and enthusiastic you are. I'm taking part in a fibre share swap. That seems to be a lot bigger this time than last time. This is my first time signing up to do it. It was something I found on Instagram, where it does what it says on the tin. You swap fibre with somebody else, but you make up a little package with other things. You might make a couple of things to put in or something. So I'll be interested to find out more about that as I get into it and find out about my partner, and put together a nice swap package for them. I've, as I mentioned, done a shop update. I was going to show you some packets of mini skeins, but I'll put a picture up instead. I have been made ridiculously happy this week by new packaging. In fact, this last couple of weeks, because I've got new bags that I'm sending my orders out in, just the plastic bags, the mailing bags, but I treated myself to some purple ones, so they make me very happy, because I didn't want to just have the dull grey ones. So, but I also bought some packets like the ones that, where have I just put that? My Rosie's Moments. Yeah, I bought some packets kind of like this to put my mini skeins in. So they've been making me very happy this last couple of weeks. And this week I actually put the mini skeins into the packets and took pictures, and it was lovely. So, simple things for simple minds. And then pretty much the last thing is that because I've been working at dyeing and winding skeins and labelling, some of these things don't take a lot of brain power, like rewinding skeins. So I've been looking up new podcasts to me, so that I can have some company while I'm doing it. Oh, doesn't that sound sad and lonely? But it's just lovely, isn't it, listening to other knitty, spinny, fibery people while you're doing your knitty, spinny, fibery job. I think that's why we like knitting along when we're watching a podcast, because it just feels like you're almost at a virtual knit night or something, and you've got other people around you doing the same sorts of things. But I've found a fair few podcasts this last few weeks, which are all lovely, and I wanted to mention some of them in case some of you haven't seen them yet. Now, this isn't an exhaustive list, this is just what I remembered just before I was starting to record and made a quick note. So Maria Samira, hi, recommended the Sockmatician podcast when I saw her in July, and I finally got round to watching it this last week, and then I watched, Nathan does the Sockmatician podcast in London. I think I've watched the last 3 to catch up on, so that's a lovely podcast which is now on my subscription list. Come knit with us. Why did nobody tell me about this podcast? They're lovely, they're delightfully gorgeous people, and they just make me smile so much with their themed sections and their props and everything. Oh, lovely. So they're on my subscription list now as well. Knitting Expat in Bahrain, although she was in New York last week, so she travels around all over the place by the looks of it. Canadian Knitter, I enjoyed her as well. Do you know sometimes when you watch a podcast and you think, yeah, I think we'd be friends. If we went to the same knit night, we'd really get on and we'd have a good laugh together. I felt that when I was watching the Canadian Knitter podcast, so that was really cool. And the last one I wanted to mention is Susan B. Anderson's podcast. I'm only halfway through watching the first one, but I'm really enjoying it, so I'll finish watching that later on, and that'll be added to the list as well. So this list is growing. It's going to be on a whole roll of parchment that I can roll across the floor and into the next room soon. But you all keep me company, and it's lovely when you work at home and you work on your own. It's nice to just feel as if you're a bit connected with the outside world sometimes. Oh yeah, so our local library unfortunately is shutting, and but we've been lucky enough that a member of the community has actually bought the building and has said that it must be used as a public building for the next 99 years. So the local forum is turning it into sort of a community centre with a cafe, and they had an open evening on Monday to show us what they plan to do with it and show us some sample menus, and I got recognised. Oh. I was just caught like a deer in the headlights. This lovely lady was talking to me, and I was saying how, oh, you know, I work at home and it's nice to be able to have somewhere to go, and I could take my tablet and my paperwork down sometimes and just have a cup of tea and feel like I'm near people, but I'm still doing some work. It would be lovely to have somewhere like that just down the road from our house. And she said, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, I dye wool, thinking, here we go, I'm going to have to explain this now, because most times when you say that, they say, you dye wool? Oh, okay, and look at you as if you're a bit doolally tap. And I said, oh yeah, I dye yarn and wool at home. It's, you know, I'm just growing the business. It's very small as yet, but hopefully it'll grow. And she went, oh, are you Owl About Yarn? And I went, yeah, thinking, what? What's happening? And she said, I follow you on Instagram, I spin and I knit and I do this and I do that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was recognised for the first time. So exciting. My mum was with me and she's like, well, see, yeah. See, you know, you're getting there, you're getting there. So she hasn't stopped talking about that. Or at least, you know, that, yeah. She didn't for a while. She was telling my dad and it was funny. And yeah, oh, happy days. I think that's all I wanted to tell you about today. Bit of a rambly one again, but that's my style, I think, really, isn't it? I'm a bit of a rambler. I hope to be back next week or the beginning of the following week with another podcast. I hope to not have knitting needles sticking out of this next time. Wouldn't it be lovely if I could hold up a finished cardigan and go, ta-da! Because I really think that when I've got rid of this, my knitting's going to go so much faster. Because I'll be knitting things that I want to knit again. Maybe I'll be able to cast on that Head-to-Fude. Oh, I'll wind the wool for that later. Yeah, and then my sock yarn blanket, I want to work on that. I want to do this second Keeper Aid. No, Key Shawlette. Keeper Aid's my yarn, this colourway. But that is holding me up because I'm determined to get that finished. It is not going to beat me. I will get it done, and then it will be done and it will be off the needles, and I'll never have to knit another one again if I don't want to. I will want to, but you know what I mean. So yes, next time I come, I am not going to come and podcast again until that cardigan is finished and ready to wear, and then it'll be everywhere. I'm finished, and hopefully I'll have something new and delightful on the needles to show you next time. Hopefully I'll also have spun up the fibre that I showed you, and I might even have done some more dyeing, so I might be able to show you some new yarns and fibres next time. So with that, have a lovely week. I thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you can join me next time. Bye bye.